Okay, so we all know that making portfolio takes so much time and energy. You spend hours designing layout, editing renders, organizing projects, tweaking fonts, perfecting every single page, and only to send it out and hear absolutely nothing back. Trust me, I've been there. I think a lot of us wants to believe that recruiters or your hiring managers are sitting there just going through page by page, fully analyzing your projects. I mean, that's what I at least hope they do, but realistically, that's probably not what's happening. So what are they actually looking for, and how can our portfolio stand out? If you're new here, hi, I'm Mia and I'm an interior designer based in London, and over the past 8 years I've worked in 6 different design studios, and trust me, I've made my portfolio over and over and over. And most recently, I've made a jump from workplace design to hospitality, which was not an easy transition to make. I had to learn a lot about how to position my work, tailoring my portfolio, and really stand out in a competitive application. And now I do work in a hospitality project. So in today's video, I wanted to share things that genuinely helped me to improve my portfolio, present my projects better, and ultimately land opportunities that you're really excited about. And before we get into it, if you're into interior design, portfolios, how to use AI, and building your interior design career, then stick around and make sure to subscribe as well, because I know you'll like it here. I'm also going to put a link below where you can download my portfolio template, so make sure to check that one out. Now, if you guys are ready, let's jump in. The first question we want to ask is who this is for. The first mistake that a lot of people make with their portfolio is trying to make one portfolio for everyone. But before you even actually start designing your layout, ask yourself this: who this is for? And when I say who this is for, I mean ask yourself what studio you're applying, because the way you should present your portfolio will completely change according to which studios you're applying to. Let's say you want to apply for a hospitality studio, then ideally your strongest hospitality project should come at the top of your portfolio. If you want to apply for a residential project, then residential project should be at the top of your portfolio. If you don't have any hospitality or residential project yet, which was my case, start thinking about how you can present your current or existing project in a way that could look like a hospitality project. What do I mean by this? So when I was transitioning from the office design to the hospitality, most of my portfolio looked like an office design project. So what I did instead was, instead of including the full render or the completed photo of the whole office, I took a vignette of like a little detailed joinery area, or like the curated material layered elements, or like the fabrics and the lighting, decorative elements, and made sure that I took a really good photography and included in my portfolio. Instead of showing that office desk or boring carpet or like that meeting room shot, I wanted to show the moment that felt so relevant to the hospitality design instead. And I put the focus more on the area like bar, lounges, and reception. A lot of people think that they need to include all the photography, all the design elements, all the spaces from your whole project into the portfolio, but that's actually not the case. Instead of trying to show absolutely everything, you want to show what you want your future studios to see, the style that you're passionate about. What also helped me the most to work in hospitality studio is that I created my own conceptual restaurant project and added into my portfolio. I was so tired of recruiters telling me that I didn't have a hospitality project and all my project looked like an office design. So what I did, I created on my own and showed them that I could design restaurants. So if you have a studio that you really want to work for, then create a hypothetical project yourself and show them that you can really design their style and the type of project. Your portfolio should also be a tool to position yourself to get the type of project you want to work. So now let's talk about the contents that you should be actually putting into your portfolio. First one is the cover page. Spend time on your cover page. A lot of people overlook this one, but it's the first impression you give to the person looking at your portfolio. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated and it should be rather simple, but set the tone for the rest of your portfolio. You should have your name, says that it's interior design portfolio, and keep it minimal and professional. I think the cover page can either grab their attention to hopefully view the rest of your portfolio. Then after the cover page, I usually like to put a little CV and a short short profile page. I like to have a usual CV which covers the experience and technical details on the left hand, and I also like to add a quick introduction about me. Not a huge wall of text, but something that includes who I am, my experience, what I care about as a designer, and what type of designer I am. I like to give a summary of like what influenced my design, for example, and I would add my picture too, but not necessary. I think this gives a personality to your portfolio, but also this is a moment that you can really align yourself with the studio ethos. Check their website and see what they care about. You want to show that you're the right fit for their studio. Next one is the contents page, and this one sounds actually basic, but it makes your portfolio feel so much more organized and professional, and especially if you have multiple projects. I like to separate project by category sometimes, or you can do it by years that you completed, for example, but you could divide it into hospitality, workplace, residential, and conceptual projects. It just makes the portfolio easy to navigate for the viewer and allows them to quickly jump back to the section that they're most interested in. For each project, I would recommend putting like 5 to 10 pages, depending on how many projects that you have. For example, if you have only 2 projects, then I think you can go a little bit more deep into per project, so you might have 10 pages. But if you have, I don't know, so many like 5 to 10 projects that you want to include, then maybe minimize into like 3 to 5 pages per project would be better. It's quality over quantity, guys, because people do not want to scroll 40 pages and people don't have time, remember? And I know it's hard sometimes. I'm also like, oh, but I'm proud of all my projects. But guys, we need to be selective here. Pick the most proud project, pick the most relevant project to the studio that you're applying to. Now we talk about what should go into each project, and let's use my restaurant project as an example. So a typical interior project might start from like a brief intro page, then you might have like a site space plan page, then a concept page, mood board page, material, axos, and then maybe design from each area, visuals, details, and elevation. So that's quite a lot of pages, but the key here is that you combine these elements together in one pages. What you don't want to do is to show render after render after render, or like the visuals, unless you're applying as a visualizer. The key here is that you mix, I don't know, like the concept sketch with the final product, or you might have like an amazing detailed picture with the detailed elevation or the section drawings. That goes really nicely together and actually shows that you've completed the project, but you also has attention to the detail. So make sure that you put different skills in one page. Now let's talk about the layout, because making your portfolio look professional and sleek honestly makes a huge difference. Throughout the portfolio, consistency is really the key. Try to keep the same font styles, image positioning, page structure, margins, and overall visual language, including color scheme. Does the text and title come at the same position for every page? You want to make sure that every project follows the similar layout rhythm, and you can also create a master page easily to have a consistency in the layout. If every page looks completely different, or like picture coming out, or like text not in the right like frame, then the portfolio can start feeling messy and also like really difficult to follow and looks really unprofessional. So make sure to clean your layouts as much as possible, and that's gonna make your portfolio look professional. For example, the first page of every project, make it clear and impactful, make it stand out, and have that consistency throughout all the project. This is basically your project introduction page, so the viewer should immediately understand what they're looking at. A few easy ways to do this are using like large title, using like a strong full page, full width image, and then clearly showing the key project information. You can include things like project title, type of project, location, size, project year or date, completion date, and then even project cost if relevant to you. The first page should instantly set the tone and tell the viewer what they can expect from the rest of the project. And finally, but not the least, before you send your portfolio, here are the few things that you need to keep an eye on, and it's really important. First, keep an eye on the file size. Your portfolio can easily get like a really big file, but trust me, you can't first of all send a big file on your email, and if it takes a really long time to open, your recruiter or your future employer is not going to wait there and load your portfolio, okay? So remember, when you're exporting your PDF, keep an eye on the megabyte or the gigabyte, okay? Like make sure that it's it's like not more than like 10 megabyte. I also recommend designing your portfolio mainly for like online viewing where people can look at it on a laptop or like a large screen. So make sure that there's no typo, the text is readable, it's not like too small on the screen. Make sure that pages are not overcrowded. And this is so important, make sure that all images are resolution high, okay? Like super crisp, no like blurred images. This instantly makes your portfolio look so unprofessional. Another small thing that people often forget is your file name. You don't want to save the file as like, I don't know, portfolio final, V1 final. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it clean and professional. So your portfolio file name should be your name, portfolio, and for example, like a year. So Mia.Tsujimura portfolio 2026. And finally, always bring your portfolio ready for the interview, even if it's submitted online already or you've sent it out on an email to them already. Because once you're in the interview, they will expect you to present, not them putting up your portfolio on a screen. So bring your laptop, bring PDF saves onto your desktop so you can easily access without the Wi-Fi, because sometimes they don't even have a Wi-Fi. And bring extra portfolio materials in case they ask a little bit more about the project. And I guess that's it, guys. That was all for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found this helpful, I would love for you to like this video and also subscribe so you don't miss out any future content from me. If you like the style of my portfolio, you can download the templates from the link below, so make sure to check them out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!